It was a lovely little bit of a guitar intro there. Totally
I
timed that
know.
perfectly.
We just
Um,
need a lone eagle's call.
Oh, it was more of a crow, wasn't it?
It's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, welcome to the Indie Bandits Twitch stream and YouTube channel. My name is Jimmy and I'm here with Joe.
All right, Jim.
I'm good, yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I like the fact that we were doing bird impressions before we actually did the intro. I mean, what's the point? You know what? A soft intro is good. We should maybe just like fade up every time. We should just pretend we're having, cut the crap, take down all the smoke and mirrors, and actually just randomly have a really jarring intro where we just hit live no matter where we are in our current conversations and do no intros. I think that's the future of content creation.
That could either be brand boosting or brand destroying in equal measure.
Some people will like it. It's really avant-garde. People will be like, wait, have I just joined them in the middle of that conversation? Yes, you have. Of course, we talk to each other before we go live. It's not like we just randomly pop up to this stream and it's like we
At
just started
exactly the same
existing. Now we
time.
hit live. Yeah, just at the second we go live, we start existing. These disembodied voices over Central Europe.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Where were we? We took. You're gonna have to pronounce it. I forget.
Rheims.
Yeah.
I forgot
Oh
about
yeah,
Rheims.
that's the one with all
Rheims.
of the throat and none of the sense, right?
Yes. It's look, it's just a French place name that even the French can't really understand why it's pronounced in such a way, but that's the way it's pronounced. In English, a lot of people just call it Rheims. We
I was
we
gonna
used to
call
go
it
there
Rheims.
regularly. We used to go there regularly growing up.
Or Raheem's.
Raheem's Sterling's.
Yeah.
He was when we were watching the Euros over the summer. Obviously here in Spain, they call him Sterling because S consonant doesn't occur naturally in Spanish without a vowel before it. So they just have this like natural tendency to add vowels in front of anything that begins with a S consonant. So like Spain, they'll say Spain, much like España. It's like that always occurs in Spanish. So native Spanish speakers have a really hard time with words. So they'd struggle with Reims just because it's pronounced stupidly, but they also struggled with the name Sterling because of this S consonant.
Sterling.
There you go. The Sterling. Yeah. So that's your random linguistic fact of the stream right there.
We need a jingle for that, don't we?
We do. We need like, you know what?
We need a lot of jingles actually. There's a lot of like segments that we could have a jingle for.
Oh yeah, we need like jingles and bumpers and all this kind of like highfalutin audio production and audio visual production thing. Which, to be honest, perfect time to start plugging the Patreon. No, like support the Indie Bandits. We
For no other reason
blow all the
than-
money on beer and bumpers. We'll also use it to push indie games. But
And we can
send some money our way.
develop jingles
We'll hire entire orchestras for pointless
to
linguistic
create
facts of the
fantastic jingles.
There you go. Enjoy it. But yeah, no, we promise we won't all blow it on frivolous, stupid stuff. But could it, funding and support could help improve the production value of our streams, which
What you saying?
would in turn further help indie developers. Not when we're playing Total War and drinking beers and just chatting on a Friday night, but for the indie streams, it would be handy to have
everywhere.
bumpers and production value.
It would.
But maybe some people like our lo-fi avant-garde way of just no intros, just dive straight in. Hey, we're in the middle of a conversation. Have some of that. Maybe they find it refreshing that we don't have like 800 lines of text around our streams and loads of shit pinging up with who gave us this and who gave us that and who said that. I don't know.
I mean, that's obviously what we're aiming for, though. You want a stream so loud, you've got no idea what it is you're actually watching. That's the dream.
I think that's what I like. I like the way when you play games like stories and narratives emerge from it. There's some games that just like stuff happens and it's unintended and emergent gameplay and all that kind of crack on, which is like the cool narrative side of Twitch. You know, that people are playing a game and then something happens that is like unexpected, and that you wouldn't have been able to be on that journey if you were just playing the game yourself. That I completely get, but I find that hard to follow when there's all these widgets all over the shop. Like, you know what I mean? There's a certain like
like a wacky noise that comes out as well. Like,
yeah.
Thanks for the subscription.
Or the classic. I mean, it's very funny in a meme context, but that air horn sound, you know, the the one that's like, you know, club DJ air horn noise.
Club DJ air horn. That's a good name.
The DJ air horn in his house. Yeah, it's not for me. Not for me. But you know, like I'm not gonna die if other people enjoy it. No, you know. I'm not that old and curmudgeonly yet where like things are different. Here, you kids, get off my lawn. I don't like the way you consume media. It's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's not for me.
Your media consumption habits are incorrect.
Yeah. I don't like the way you enjoy something that has no bearing on my life whatsoever. All right. Like
picking apart the internet here, Joe.
I know. There was a like the whole kind of. There was what was it? I think there was a YouTube channel a while ago, or maybe just some kind of like community or club where it was like promise to read the book before you watch the film, which is like, you know, maybe a cool kind of idea. But then it was I think then they stopped it because they were like, actually, you know what? Enjoy media however the fuck you want. It's fine. You know, like we shouldn't tell people how to enjoy content. It's fine. You know.
St. George, our men have
slain
the enemy general.
He got stuffed, didn't he?
He did. I've got these fancy pants longbowmen now. I've got these regularly good longbowmen, but then look at these snazzy. Look at this outfit.
If I was a medieval person, I'd want to go by the name of Fancy Pants Longbowman.
I know, but look at everyone looks like they've all got snazzy outfits and snazzy shields. I mean, those two burned alive, but you know, they look good while burning.
Oh yeah, I could do. Oh. Right, Halloween costume idea for this year. I want to go as medieval knight, but like full of wazoo. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a knight; it would be a longbowman, as flaming fancy pants longbowman, and it would be a fictional character who is just really out there and living his truth. I think if he's flaming, he's going to have to be gay just to work with the pun.
Right.
But imagine just rocking up to a party just like in this like medieval garb, and it's like.
You'd look snazzy. You'd definitely look snazzy.
Flaming fancy pants longbowman. Savior of the Kingdom of England.
Yeah. Slayer of rebels.
Oh, he slays, obviously.
Uh-oh.
Oh, those guys are getting slayed, though.
No, I just thought they was trying to sneak around the side, so, you know, that's not allowed. So I've decided instead that I'm going to go and kill him. Go get him, boys.
Be scared to use your nails.
Alright, just stop. They don't need to. They're not gonna actually fight.
Oh, you want to hear what historically we missed last time out? There's a couple of good ones for this episode.
Yeah, go on.
So it was for last stream we would have went through 1412 to 1430. Important events in this time include 1415 on the 25th of October, so in a couple of weeks, but also hundreds of years ago. We could have enjoyed Henry V defeating the French at the Battle of Agincourt.
Oh, nice.
Which is a classic. That's like, you know, when we did we draw with Italy to qualify for World Cup '98?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
One of those moments. So, yeah, I feel Agincourt is the sort of, what's it, the night in, was it Night in Turin or something like that? I forget. They gave it a name. You know, they always give these sort of
oh yeah. No, I know which one. Yeah, I forget
events.
What the
I know Turin was Italian 90, wasn't it? That was the thing with Turin, was the
It was Rome, I
like
think,
Gaza?
was the
Rome,
98
yeah,
one.
because it's in the song.
Yes, it
David
is actually.
Baddiel
Yeah.
says, "One night in Rome, we were strong, we had grown." I mean, lyrical masterpiece. That song, by the way.
Obviously.
I just think. No, I mean, I remember I had to explain what during the Euros, had to explain to the lass, with her being French. One, she is like diametrically opposed to Englishness. So trying to explain to her why, like, the Three Lions song is really good. I'm like, no, but you don't get it. Like, the point is, like, we should be good, but we're not. Like, we should be good, but we're always shit, especially in, like, top international tournaments. And this song recognizes the stupidity of fans in a way, but fans who know they're being stupid, they know they're, like, putting all their hope into this team that continues to disappoint on every major stage. But that doesn't matter, because they'll just believe that every tournament they can go in winning it. And it's foolish, but we do it. And it's like, I think a lot of people, like, the song's very misunderstood elsewhere. Like, I think everyone else thinks it's really, like, they don't realize it's bittersweet.
Well, yeah, we're sort of taking the mick out of ourselves with it, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's like, it's very tongue-in-cheek, and I think a lot of people think it's us just being, like, really cocky, going, of course football's coming home. And it's like, no, the context is we still believe it's coming home despite all the evidence to the contrary.
Yes, despite the fact we fail miserably, it hasn't dampened our spirits when a tournament comes round.
Exactly, but,
I mean,
I can
usually...
understand you missing that if you're not, like,
Yeah,
if you're not a native English speaker and you're not looking at the lyrics, you just hear football fans chanting, it's coming home, it's coming home. It's like, they probably see that as us just shouting, we're going to win the tournament, we're going to win the tournament. It's like, yeah, but, Lightning Seeds are a cracking band anyway. Great tunes.
Yes, solid. Very solid.
Solid 90s. Was a Brit rock kind of crack on.
Yeah. King Nicholas, eh?
Nah, I don't think he was in the Lightning Seeds.
Be a good day for the crows when we meet, mon ami.
Okay, I'm gonna
Where's he
kill
from?
him.
The
Francais.
Yeah, I was saying he's kind of went for it, hasn't he?
I'm gonna send a little group of guys out to go kill the King of France.
My old Captain Simon.
Captain Simon, you've been given an important task. You have to assassinate the King of France. It's like Mission Impossible.
Well, here's the other facts. These ones are a bit weirder though. In 1422, Henry V died suddenly, leaving his son Henry VI, less than a year old, King of England and France, under the Treaty of Troyes. It's written like Troyes, and is to this date is still the youngest ever King of England. But England was ruled by a Regency Council, and the King's uncle, John, Duke of Bedford, gradually extended English control. So, messed up shiz. You can't have, like, a kid. I mean, you know that, like, the kid wasn't running the shows because they had that Regency Council, but that's a moment where it's like, I don't know what you call it, like, is it like a shadow government almost, where the king can't make the decision, so everyone else is, but all you're doing is just puppeteering the entire government.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, even though to everyone else, I mean, you're not getting, like, regular news updates anyway, but you'd probably just be told, hey peasants, Henry VI is your king, that's all you need to worry about. Whereas in the, behind the scenes, there are tons of powerful people vying for even more control because they just want to be in the, like,
Foolish general has
What?
thrown his life away. Perhaps our chances of victory with it.
That's what happens when you send
The enemy are badly
a
blooded.
Psy boy to
They've
do a
lost half
Psy
their
man's
men
job.
are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
It was terrible.
Well, not as bad as Simon's performance in that battle.
No, Simon got rinsed straight away, didn't he?
The enemy king
Oh.
is slain.
There we go.
Worthy enemy,
Simon
but
says,
no
I
less
don't
dead
want to
for that.
fight.
We must press our advantage.
Well, Simon died heroically. Took down the enemy king. Well, his mates did
No, he
anyway.
didn't.
He didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Simon by proxy. He's done alright.
Bad idea, guys. That's a unit of pikemen you're running into.
Yes, horses don't like pikes.
They don't. Oh, that guy went
found
flipping
that
over
out
the
the hard
top.
way. And,
All of Christendom will be awed.
Over
Yeah,
the front of
that's
the
it.
horse he goes.
You don't worry about all of Christendom.
Splitting forces, sire. The day is ours, sire. Sire.
Get back to
By
mess,
your
would you?
command.
You dafty. Oh boy! That's the King of France gone. That must mean the other king. It must mean one of these is the King of France.
Honor dictates I inform you, I intend to attack. May we meet on the battlefield, you and I.
Excellent. Oh, man. I
Right.
feel that the linguistic fact segment needs to make a regular appearance, just because of how bad the like accents and linguistic representation in this game are. It needs to counterbalance this. Like, that's not how people sound or talk. Like, one guy who did all the voices for Rome, Medieval, Medieval 2 Total War. Don't know why I went for Rome there. Maybe you were floating too near it and my brain just got distracted.
To war then, sire.
Possibly. Oof. What we got? Archers, javelins, and then just a lot of siege equipment. Oh, I can smash them, man.
You remember how much shit we had to take over in this game? Was it like, do we have to capture an area like every third turn
It's something like
for us
that.
to win this?
It's we're up against it now. We are up against it, but we can do it. We can do it.
Time to speed this world domination up.
Units, on my order.
Units, on my honor.
More interesting voice acting.
Everybody run outside the walls. This is masterful medieval strategy here. It's called charge.
Running away.
It's called everybody run towards the bad guys.
Classic strategy.
Now, one at a time. Come on. Let's do this in an orderly fashion. And if they shoot a bunch of cannonballs right down the middle of this, it's going to get a lot of people.
They're desperate to get through those gates, aren't they?
They're fancying it. They're like, we outnumber them.
So, it'd be so funny if they just had to like run around and shut the door behind you. Or just like, there's ours now. Enjoy.
They're like one guy in the city who's just gone and captured it.
Yeah, it ends up like that Monty Python bit. He's stood on the castle walls being like, nah.
Shoot those horses.
You say yeet them.
Shoot them.
Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. You should yeet them as well, though. Now that I know what yeet means.
Yeet.
Good word. It feels like it feels onomatopoeic.
It's gonna be a bit of a mess, I reckon. Oh,
Imagine
That's
if
a
you were
bit-
the dude who
bit
just had to
risky, isn't
shout charge. Like, your throat would be wrecked at the end of this. Just feels like that's his one job. Just regularly shout charge to the people. Well, you
so
know.
why is he in
assuming
charge?
they do.
He's got a really good voice.
Why is he in charge of the charge? He's got an excellent
He's
Our
got
men
silky
are
yelling
winning.
tones.
voice.
If we
Yeah.
continue like this, we will smash the
Oh,
enemy.
look at these fancy pants chaps. I tell you what, you get to the late game of this and everyone's outfit goes up quite a
Everyone's
bit, doesn't it?
it's fashion week though, isn't it? That's why. I forget where it's fashion week. I heard it somewhere. Is it Paris Fashion Week?
I've no idea. I'm not too clued up on the fashion weeks of the world.
No, the last was telling me about it.
Sure.
And they had people interviewed. Also, my updates on Strictly are from her as well.
You love your fashion week.
Look, not here to follow trends, man. Here to make them.
Oh,
Bit,
a lot of people burned.
oh. Being on fire is so in right now.
He is on fire. Oh, I didn't realize there was a set of archers over there.
Slain the Saracen general. Now
I'll tell you what, though. I bet you the guy who brought brought that big like horn is feeling pretty smug as the other guy has to keep shouting charge. He's like, mate, save your throat, bring a horn. You know, it sounds like that
Behold how our
that little psychopathic kid in Don't Starve Together. You know, the one who tells stories, the one with the really dead eyes.
Yeah, with the trumpet
And
voice.
when he talks like Charlie Brown shit. Yeah. Did you ever hear the one about the bog monster? I think is what he says and stuff like that. You never get a read.
Someone's been paying attention to his stories.
You got to. I assume that's how it worked. What is a story if no one's listening to it?
This isn't the
One of mine,
stream
really,
for
but
that. Oh, I forgot about him. You're off, aren't you? Off on your wee travels and that. What is... Oh yeah, rocket launchers. God.
it feels like that can't possibly be their proper name, but they are.
Mercenary rocket launchers, that's what it says.
Yeah.
That's entirely the reason I decided to pick them up. Right, okay. Want to use? No, want to use.
Hail, my
Oh,
king.
you kidding us, man? How can you not get there? Stop being a pleb. Do we have to kill him now?
Waste words with the enemy. Come and face the might of the Reich, coward. My lord.
Calm down, mate. Jesus Christ. They get a bit wound up, don't they? In this game, they're always yelling at each other.
It seems like they're in a they're always amped up. They're always like, you don't click on anyone and they're just like,
All right, mate.
you all right? Yeah. How's it going? How's your
weekend?
how is your crusade? Decent crusade this far. It's always like, I must fight and kill you for some reason, or I reject your authority over your land. It's like, all right, a bit heavy for a greeting. Just say hi.
Shut
We're
up,
only
man.
walking past. We're off to Helsinki, man. Don't worry about us.
Nutters.
And just like your army's going past, and it's like, you are not my king, and you're just like, oh, bloody nutters, man.
Just calm down.
All
man.
over these roads,
Hail, my king.
these roads in medieval Europe. You can't walk down one of them without some like army leader or faction leader just saying rude shit to you.
I know. Just enough, please.
My liege,
Leave it out, mate.
we must make a stand. We are besieged.
Are we?
Yeah, no, right. Just like, all right, calm down, mate. Calm down.
Ooh. I'm not the one having the
I know that-
hostilities.
It's annoying, right? Because like, well, one, you never want to tell enough from the Pope,
As you command, my liege.
but like,
Ooh.
you ever remember in school when like the whole class was in trouble because of this like one dick that would you'd just be like, mate,
Right, that's
prat
it.
around
No
during
one's allowed
break.
outside today. You're like, are you serious?
You're
you're
like,
all of us now have to suffer because of that idiot.
yeah, like that's how I feel
Hail,
dealing
my
with the
king.
Pope. Like the Pope is like, I'm sick of all of your shit. No hostility. He's like, I'm not. He started it.
Yeah.
He started. He's like, I don't care who started this crusade.
Saying, I don't care who started.
But
I'm ending it.
it's like,
My lord, engaging the enemy fleet. Our people
we're gonna
rule
go out
these
on the limb
waters,
here.
sire.
But the Pope's a bit of a
And the
get,
grapples
isn't
are
he?
prepared to
Like,
horn.
Yeah, he's annoying.
Hail, my
Extremely annoying.
king. Yes,
At your
It's
service.
been nothing but a pain in my ass the entire game. It's never said a nice word. Just telling me what to do all the time. Even though I'm the one that's completed 2 of his crusades.
I know we've done out but try and help this.
Spreading the word of Jesus Christ to the far-flung corners of the earth. Good Lord, what else does
And
he
you know
want?
what? It's a tough crowd. Like, I'll tell you what. Cairo and Alexandria have not been that keen on the word of Jesus,
They
to be
haven't.
honest.
They've not fancied it.
They,
But you know what?
they've
We've
been
stayed there and we've forced it upon them like good,
And-
honest Christians.
All right, people of Alexandria, we've heard your complaints.
We've
We're going
noted
to
them.
completely ignore them.
We've noted your complaints and we'll take them into consideration.
Don't worry. We'll add new gospels to the canon that explain exactly why you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's like King James's letters to the people of Cairo. Right, enough already. Just can you stop being awkward and just be Christian under our dominion, please?
Stop being silly now. Everybody, stop the silliness. Okay? Time for silliness has passed. Time for silliness ended a long time ago.
1400 years ago with the crucifixion of our Lord and Savior.
Exactly.
That's
enemy lays
look,
siege,
we've been very
sire.
patient up
We
until
must
now.
prevail.
You've had 1400 years to be a Christian. We're quite sick of waiting for years to convert, so it's going to be forced upon you now. And as you can see, it'll be a better life for all you, because
Confusing me with a dip-
Europe's all Christian and nothing but peace. Don't worry about it. Don't look into it though.
Yeah, don't look into the way we operate as a religion. Just be part of it.
Hail, my king!
Right, is everywhere I have a general?
Making sure you've not left
way,
York
way
unlocked
too many.
again.
No, York is... the people of York did not enjoy that.
That moment where all law and order just popped outside for a smoke or something, and then it was taken over by Danes. Imagine that. It's like imagine just I don't know. You went out to work one day and you like returned to find squatters in your house. They'd be like, "Why are there squatters in your house?"
Don't worry about it.
The police were on break. Sorry,
What is it?
the police and the army
More lies?
left. It's a bit of
They just don't need to worry about it, that's all. It's fine.
Not as funny, but it feels a bit like that that interim government in Afghanistan, where it's like the second the American military left, the president or prime minister or whatever was seen like gnashing with suitcases full of money, and it was like that flipping Simpsons episode with the monorail, where what's his name, Lyle Lanley, the one who tells them to build the monorail, and he's just planning to go to Tahiti or some shit with a suitcase full of cash.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Monorail.
aren't you gonna watch the maiden voyage of the monorail or whatever? And he's all like, no, I've got a plane to catch. It's like the trip only lasts a minute. He's like, yeah, well, my plane leaves in less than a minute. Yeah.
Is that Steve? What's his face?
This sounds like a sentence I could come out with fucking stock trading lizard.
Martin?
Go on.
Steve Martin?
No.
The actor?
Yeah, not Steve Martin. Lyle Lanley's played by Phil Hartman. The one who does Troy McClure and all them. Oh, I forget who Steve Martin plays in The Simpsons. He is in an episode, and it's a very good one as well. I'm gonna look it up.
Laying siege, noble sire.
Alright. Can I just assault it? Okay, just assault it. Let's just build ladders for everyone.
We shall prevail in this siege, sire.
Ladders for all!
My liege,
Oh no, I'm thinking
we must make a stand. We are besieged.
who's the one when Springfield goes dry.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was him.
Ooh.
that arch nemesis, the new like mayor of Springfield in that.
What? So the only people we get to decide is going to be the next pope is 3 people who's we're at war with.
Factions.
Fantastic. Right, okay, fine. 4. How come I don't get someone to get put forward? I have 4 bloody cardinals. That should be me. Well, I'm gonna destroy them.
Hail, my king.
Destroy them for their silliness.
As you will, my king. To battle.
Here we go. Oh.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
turns
more
out
than
my
I thought.
Simpsons knowledge was miles off. Steve Martin voices the like newspaper editor in the episode where Homer becomes in charge of the trash collection. You know, the one with U2 in, where they do a Candyman parody,
Right, yeah.
and it's like the garbage man can.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I think Steve Martin's apparently in that episode. Some of the guy who voices Rex Banner. I thought it was Steve Martin for some reason. Good episode though. A lot of them are good episodes. Obviously, Simpsons had a lot of excellent episodes for many years, and then sort of passed their sell-by date, didn't they? Bless them.
Took a nosedive.
The love of God is 1,000 times stronger than any mortal armor. His wrath
debatable.
against our foes is 1,000 times
His
better
armor's
than
proper shiny though,
1,000
innit?
arrows.
He's got an
Our
armor
faith
polisher.
Gives us his aid and more. It will give us
And
victory.
more.
And more!
Rise, St. George, and look for that victory.
Does he do this every fight, or is he just?
Yeah, you can wait and listen to the
the
pep talk if you fancy it.
Cut them down when the time comes, and I will bless you for it.
So is this based on the assumption that this pep talk happens every fight?
Yeah. Now, hang on. I'm out all the way back because they have range. Can they not? They can't attack the walls. What? I'm confused. Got handguns now, Joe.
And rocket launchers. which are
Handguns
not
and
like
rocket. Look at
RPG
these.
Not
Look at
like
the pants.
RPGs.
Look at those pants.
You know what? I could. Those are the kind. I mean, a bit cold for them, isn't it? I mean, that's how tough. Like, you gotta be tough as nails to be like, you know what? Just gonna. I'm gonna have like no armor below the waist, and I'm just gonna stand there in some like fancy pantaloons, freezing me nuts off. Like, to be honest, it would strike fear in the hearts of your enemies. Wouldn't it be like, man,
He must be
must be
tough
some-
as nails if
they
he's
must
coming
be
here.
some tough motherfuckers over there. Look at them. Look at them.
Seen
They're like,
that?
it's really...
You seen that lad over there? He's got no pants on. Well, he's got pants on, but you know what I mean.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
It's just in his pants. In the freezing snow. That windmill ought to keep him cool. Windmills do not work that way.
You seen that clip of that lad who thought, what am I trying to say? That,
Windmills work that way.
No, he thought that the giant wind turbines that you see on the fields were giant fans that were put
Brilliant.
up to keep the world cool.
Good shout, though. Good shout.
Is it though?
I mean, but it depends. Is he 8?
No, he's like, in his, I don't know, he looked like maybe late 20s, 30s.
Ah, well, no, he's just thick.
Oh, rockets.
That's harsh. He might not be thick. He might just be horrendously uninformed.
Our men have reached the walls with their ladders.
Well, look at the nice little light show that's going on.
I know. I mean, those were some canny bit rockets, weren't they?
Everybody get up the wall. But do it quicker than you're doing it.
We need to be saving these jingles so we just, when we have the funding for like a soundboard and all that kind of fancy
Our men
shit.
have reached the walls with their ladders.
We could use like an auto tune to make it sound really hilarious.
Just make it sound like a Kanye song.
Yeah.
Heavy infantry!
I do like watching the dudes like just there's no animation for them getting off the ladder. This game's 15 years old. Don't worry about it. I like the guys who clearly didn't get the
Our men
memo
are winning the
that
battle.
it wasn't
If we
dressed
continue
down
like this,
Friday.
we will smash the enemy.
What, the guys in robes?
Yeah. Just,
Well, they were woken up, while they were still trying to sleep, so
they're in their 90s.
they're in the 90s, yeah. Get them. No idea if those rockets are actually doing anything, but it looks cool. They're definitely firing into the city and setting that alight, so that's kind of fun.
Reminds me of going to the Valencian Festival of Fires, which is where they make all these giant like papier-mâché floats, and they're incredible looking things. Like for this big parade, and some of them look like really like grotesque cartoony versions of like modern events and like current political satire and stuff like that. They're all these like themed floats, these giant statues and sculptures. But the thing is, all bar a handful of them are going to be burned at the end of this festival. Like that's part of the festival. Like only the very best are saved. And it's kind of one of these things where it's like, well, you want to make it as good as possible so that it has the chance of being saved. But also, by making it as good as possible, you're going to have to put a lot of work and effort into it for it just to be burned at the end of it. And during this festival, they set off fireworks during the day, which is sort of like one of the most pointless events you can ever go to. Because I don't know if you watched a firework display in the sunshine of southeastern Spain.
I haven't, but I can't imagine there's any point.
You don't see
to it.
much. You just hear a lot of whistling and banging, and then see like white puffs of smoke. Obviously, they don't have all the like colored ones, but they are just like bangers going up. So they just like fire and go pa 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 in the sky, and then there's a lot of just white smoke hanging in the air. And it's like, well, that was 5 minutes of noise. Thank you for that. It's like if you like loud bangs, then yeah. But the floats are absolutely incredible. Like some of like the cool. It's like it's such a sad thing that it's some of the coolest sculpture you'll ever see. And then every year you see it, and then they just burn it. And they're like, haha. All of it's worthless unless it gets saved and put in the museum, which is where the ones that are saved go. They go into this special museum for the festival, which honors the winners. But like, it's so like, I don't know, nihilistic maybe. Don't know if that's the right word for it, but here's a festival where we just fucking don't care.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we
Oh.
remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Mr. Positivity's back.
Good for him.
He's enjoying himself. That's what matters.
Heavy infantry!
Is it just me, or do the legs of these people move quicker than their actual forward momentum? Like, is there like...
Yeah, there's a
I don't
little
know
bit
what
of that.
Like, they're doing a bit Looney Tunes, aren't they? With their, like, clearly the animation cycle is for them at full speed, but when they're not going at full speed, or maybe it's just really slippy on the top of those ramparts. That's also another option.
Come on. How do we not have this tower? I am confused.
What?
Like, we...
They look outnumbered. I mean, is that just...
How is this not turning to our tower?
Do they just say heavy infantry occasionally? Is that their crack on?
Yeah.
Are they like Pokemon? They just say that here. Heavy infantry.
Heavy infantry! Well, this is silly. That's a bit of a rather annoying glitch.
Might be a feature. Might not be. Who knows?
I'm just getting shot now. Oh, I'm going to speed this up a little bit because they are just taking forever to run around here.
They are taking the mick. They're saying double time. I don't believe them.
No, they are. It's dawdle time. That's what they're working on, and it's not good enough.
They should be moving with purpose and conviction, like they have some kind of destination.
Right, they're running away now, so that should be all them dead. All right, now I'm not getting shot at. Yay!
If we remain true and steadfast,
Did them rockets do out then, or were they just to scare them? Was it just to make?
Alright.
What city are we attacking?
Helsinki.
Ah, yes.
Bit cold up here.
Yeah. I was gonna say so. All those rocket launcher people did was just to terrify the poor dogs of Helsinki. And obviously all their owners are out at the minute because they're fighting this battle. But all those poor dogs are just in the house, like barking their brains out because of all these fireworks.
They damaged a bit of the wall, set fire to most of the city. So.
Poor doggos. It's Helsinki, Finland.
Yeah.
Sweden, Stockholm, Denmark. Yeah.
Everybody move faster. You're taking.
I wouldn't mind going into Finland. I'd like to go to more of Scandinavia from what I've, from the one time I went to anywhere in Scandinavia, I thought it was nice. Expensive,
Yeah, it is, yeah.
but nice. I just wish maybe I could earn some of their wages before going. Then I'd be able to afford some of the stuff there. It's the whole kind of visiting London crack on it. Be like, I'd be able to enjoy this much more if I was on a London wage.
Right, robes pile in. Right, can I grab more ladders? I think I can. Oh, there it is.
Not very nice, is it, leaving those ladders there?
No. Gotta clean up after yourself if you're gonna siege a city, that's what I always say. Leave it how you found it.
Yes, exactly. Leave only footprints, take only memories. And Northern European cities.
Yep. What we got going on in here then?
Oh, some kind of festival. I love the idea that throughout all of this, those guys have just been kind of stood there.
I hope they're doing alright on the walls.
I think they might be celebrating. I heard fireworks.
Quick, get there.
It'd be proper funny if they were just sat chatting to each other. Like actual people might be doing. If they just got sort of bored. And they were just they'd all sat down. Doing a bit of cloud gazing or something like that. They're just going. I don't know what Danes would think clouds look like. They're like, I'm getting tired of you and your clouds. This one looks like a pastry. I don't know I don't actually know what Danes are into. Like, even if I wanted to be stereotypical and racist, I mean, other than like those bad Family Guy jokes.
I think that's more Sweden though.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Fjörg
So,
van der Plug Swedish bakery.
and like the Swedish chef from the Muppets, but
How are you getting shot at? Like, what is shooting you? Oh shit. Oh shit. There's an entire separate Danish army that's just rocked up.
from where?
I forgot they had reinforcements. God damn it, everyone's in the city.
Is
I
that
ran
alright?
everybody in there because I
Don't
was
know what we
being,
want. Can we not bottleneck them on their way back into their own city?
I was being silly. Okay, let's get out here first though. That's just like
Do we need to stop them retaking the outer parts of the city?
oh god, I need to get me king out of there, that's first of all. They actually might do alright down here. I'll tell you what I could do. Could I do it? I don't know. You get in the city. Then I'll just leave those mercenaries to probably die. Hurry up.
So, is this bad?
It's not
manageable.
It's manageable. I just forgot.
Manageable, but it's going to result in more losses than.
Yeah, I thought we were nearly
Have
done with the
potential.
battle, and it's probably not quite as close to
So
being
how
done
come
as I
how
thought.
come they're outside? Did they just appear from off the edge of the map? Or
Yeah, they would have just had reinforcements turn up, but
Our
it's
men
okay.
are winning the battle. If we continue
but
like
don't we
this,
just have to
will
hold the town
smash the
centre and then we win the fight? Or is there something they can do like to stop that? Like,
I can't
if
get to
we
the
just-
town centre. I need the ladders that I sent those guys to go outside, but they have
so you need to do the ladder thing twice.
I need to get the
the-
ladder, yeah, and that's what those soldiers were sent to do. But then obviously they got, well, not ambushed. They probably saw it coming from a mile away and just. What are you doing?
just
What
had
are they doing?
They're just like,
Okay,
charge,
you're gonna die. That's so
charge.
stupid, man.
These guys with big hammers. Oh no, they're pikes.
They're
What's a big axe on the end of a
Uh,
stick
it's a-
called?
poleaxe or pollux.
Couple of Jacksons. Oh yeah, they're dead now.
Yeah, well, they were stupid enough to just run outside the city, you know? Clever. Have you done anything while dying out there, or note? Doesn't look like you've done much. It looks like mostly my side's dead bodies. Oh, they're still alive. There's one guy left. Look at that. Done alright down there, didn't he?
He's brave old so-and-so, isn't he?
He didn't shame himself. Let's put it that way.
That a euphemism for pooed your pants?
Oh, shoot! Yeah.
And oh no, they've got to carry that thing up. I was going to say, can the rocket dudes not like go up top
The
of the
rocket
walls
dudes
and-
are all dead. They also got attacked outside the gate.
They were like just looking at their watch, going, "So you sure we're just meant to stand out here and do now for a bit with that marauding horde of Danes
Yeah.
coming over the hill?" That's the orders. The charge guy didn't shout charge or anything, so I guess we're just supposed to stay here. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Should we at least fire the rockets? Nah, don't waste them. Don't waste them. We've got a daylight firework display to be getting on with.
You shoot them, and you shoot them, please. These are some very hardy crossbows, getting hit by bullets and not falling down. Oh no, I may have balls this up.
Yeah, maybe they're old styly bullets. Maybe they just I don't know, don't hurt as much.
I don't know. It'd probably still be a big lead ball. I would have assumed that it would like absolutely smash these, but it seems to be taking just as long as regular arrows do to get through. Alright, now they're going down. Once I've thinned them down a bit, I'll send my guys out and I'll get the king out to do a bit of mopping up. Right, there's no point in you getting shot, so just come over here.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
I think that's the most positive I've seen him, based on the little blue and red bar by the mini map. You know, the one that like the I don't know what you call that. They're just the power balance ometer. Like we've seen that at like 90% in our favor, and he's like, all hope is lost, and he's like, you know, doing some samurai shit and cutting his guts open. And here it's like, what, 50-50? He's like, we got this. Don't you worry about this.
This is fine.
Don't worry about that. Those reinforcements we forgot about, who've killed half our men. It'll be grand. We'll get these ladders and we'll sort it out.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, I'm glad he's changed his tune. I think, you know, optimism is a powerful thing. Negative Norman will outlive his nickname.
All right. Now you start firing as well.
These Danes are getting schooled now, though, aren't they?
Well, they can't get in, so... Although,
got their keys, did they?
This doesn't seem to work.
Can they not shoot them? It looks like only
well,
like
they can.
3
It's
of
just,
them are shooting.
this game's notoriously, like...
They're struggling to line up and shoot them, right?
Once you move them off the walls once, it's like, oh, well, I don't know how to... You know, it should just literally...
Like pathfind.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Like, what are they doing right now? What is happening? Just shoot down there.
It's like, do you remember in school when they used to ring the bell at the end of the break and you had to line up, and then it all got chaotic for about 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Like
at least, what are they doing?
What if they went downstairs and did it? Or would that...
I'll go downstairs,
right
then I'm
gates.
giving them the chance to kill me.
Yeah.
But you know what? This needs to hurry up, so let's just go.
Are they
out.
still shooting them just very slowly, or not?
They
at
are,
all?
because only a handful of them are actually shooting. So I'm just gonna get.
Well,
my
can you not
king
just
to come
turn
out.
it up to like 6 times speed and have them shoot?
Yeah, but
them
then I'm
and
gonna run out of time to actually capture the city, and I don't want that to happen.
Oh, is that? I didn't realize the battles were time dependent. What is the? Do you know what the time limit is on battles? Or why don't you fight them near the walls so that all you guys can shoot them, or do they have to be pinned to the wall to shoot? You know, do they have to be positioned up against the edge of the wall to shoot, or can they be like a few ranks back?
No, they have to be up against the.
Right, so it's
Well,
more
I'm just
about
gonna-
them fanning out across the wall and shooting from it, rather than like a range issue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit annoying. But we got the numbers right. Can they not go chin them? Those guys
I'm
are quick.
gonna-
I mean, I know it's-
Get these to come round and do a bit of a.
St.
Oh,
George, our men have slain the enemy general.
that's nice.
Well, that's good.
His troops will lose their will
Now
to fight.
charge into the rear of
My
them.
lord, only half the enemy are badly bloodied.
There we
Men are
go,
winning the
mass
battle.
rout.
Oh, look at the
Everybody run
balance of
away.
power
This,
shifting
we will
now.
Smash the enemy.
This is them getting a bit of whoopage. Love hearing them just say heavy infantry, like it's the only words they know.
Right, hurry up, man. Yous are all very, very happy. Now you go over there and get these goddamn ladders.
I love the idea that you arrived at the like inner sanctum. I don't know, the internal parts of the city, and they're like, right, let's get those ladders up. You brought the ladders, right? About that. That's all right. You didn't leave them undefended for a bunch of Danish reinforcements to attack, did you?
Well,
yeah,
actually,
you said-
funny you should say that, cause
No, yes, sorry, that was day 1 of training. That was ages ago. Yeah. You know what, it's fine. I'll go get them.
go get the ladders.
Give me half an hour.
Just go get the ladders.
might-
Go get the ladders.
Might be a while. There'll be a few Danes to kill, but yeah, I'll get those
Get
ladders.
the ladders. I'll get the ladders. You guys
All
just.
of them, or just some of them?
Right. There you go. And use haul ass.
I love the idea that those dudes have just been sat in the middle of the town square going, "Well, I thought they'd be here by now. Something terrible must have happened."
He knows how I worry.
It's not. The English said they would be here by now. I hope they're okay.
Go away, Danes.
Like, how do they know? I mean, I know they obviously, like, I guess they've got people in those walls and towers,
Walls are
right?
no match for the valor and force of our arms.
What, ladders? Ladders, Norman. Is that you? These walls are no match for planks of wood with planks of wood between them.
The mighty ladder.
The ladder will shift the tide of battle.
With this ladder,
This is the ladder
the
of
city
St.
will be
George.
ours.
My liege, I have placed wood between wood, betwixt wood, and have found a way to scale the most mighty of walls.
Oh, man, they're running away already.
They're scared by our ladders.
With the robes, it's the robes. Like, oh my god, those guys are just wearing robes. In a fight, they must be really hard.
They just said some. I think they might have just said some mean things to them on their way up the ladder. Unrepeatable horrors. What they said to those Danes would be unprintable, James.
Oh man.
Well, welcome to the Indie Bandit stream where it's full of in-jokes that we're not going to explain. But to unlock these in-jokes, support us on Patreon.
That'd be the most disappointing patron again.
You know what? It'd be like OnlyFans, but for jokes. You want to hear and understand more of our jokes?
The ladders are now in place. Walls are no match for the valor and force of
How
our
quickly
arms.
did OnlyFans U-turn on that like no porn policy?
Well, because like 99% of their platform is entirely that.
It's like the F doesn't stand for fans. I mean, no judgment. Like, fuck it. Like,
Do whatever the hell you want.
It's content as valid as any other. And to be fair, rather pay for that than Disney Plus.
I don't know, like.
It depends. Depends if you like Marvel or not. I've already seen all of Star Wars. You know what I mean? The only thing watching on Disney Plus at the minute is Futurama, and it's good. It's such a good show, but you know, you're talking to someone who's owned the like full box set of the DVDs for about 20 years now or whatever. It'll be close to 20 years by the time the original run of like 4 seasons ended. It's like, here's Disney Plus. Also, I mean, you know, like everyone else, there's one person who pays for all of these subscription services and everyone else who has their logon details. But
Yeah.
Disney Plus is like, I don't know, like I don't watch enough TV or series to actually make any streaming service worth the money I'd pay for it. Like, I only watch it because I have access to it, but when I didn't have access to it, I just did other stuff. Instead of watching a TV show I've watched 100 times and I have on DVD, it's like the only difference is like it saved me getting the DVDs out. That's it. So, not that keen on the House of Mouse and in their streaming service?
No.
Nah, I think this
The
might be
streaming
the
service
version
just survives on what it puts out there, isn't it? Really, that's it.
It's got massive. I mean, like, what happens now that like cinemas are reopening and that kind of crack on? Like, because during like peak pandemic, like it felt like these streaming services were a great way to be like, here's the film that you would have gone to the cinema to see. And now it's kind of like, well, actually in a lot of these markets you can just go to the cinema now, so there's no point in that like 15 quid extra charge to get like Mulan 2 weeks earlier on Disney Plus. Like, people are only paying for it because they're like, oh, a new film's out and I've been in the house for 6 months now, I just want to watch a new film. Like, I don't want to watch the same shit I've already seen, or like a documentary on a murderer, or, you know, this gritty series. I just want to watch it, you know, I want the whole family to sit around the telly and watch like a new Disney film, which would have been our cinema trip. Now that cinema trip's back, what does it really, you know, what does it really offer?
Smash the enemy.
Norman's back on it though.
Oh my god, this battle. Oh shit, we are like coming right down to the wire here.
Those guys aren't doing much though. You know, like
Okay, we've got the gate. Get in there. Shoot some bad guys. By bad guys, I just mean the other team.
I know. I do like that in American sports they call the opposition the bad guys, as if like it is a film and it's a fight between good and evil. Like I like that added narrative element of it. Like I feel it like you know, in British commentary of sports they don't do that. Whereas, you know, I'm watching a hockey game, and you hear the commentator being like, you know, it's 2-0 to the bad guys. I'm like, I like the fact you know, we're not saying they're bad. They're just the other team and not the one we support. But add that narrative element to it because it's America. That's how it works.
America.
They love that kind of crack on. Good triumphs over evil. There is no nuance. Enjoy it. Oh, that dude went straight down, didn't he? Did you see him just dramatically as well?
Like a sack
He's been doing
of
improv.
potatoes.
Yeah, he's been doing improv classes.
All right, everybody in.
Like you're going on a family holiday. Right. Everybody in. Come on.
Well,
Moving on.
Hurry up. Get to it.
The
Let's see if it actually
National Lampoon's
shoot.
Total War. I think we've got it now, right?
Yeah.
The
no,
balance
this
of power
is,
is in our favour.
It's happening now. We just need to crush them. Great charge, fellas. That worked out super well, didn't it?
My lord, our men are in command of the castle.
Thanks for the update, Captain Obvious.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
No, don't do that. Just attack them. What are you doing, man? Attack them. It's very janky, this game. Like, just from what are, you know, playing the new Total Wars, you do get a little bit, I guess, used to things not being quite as
Quality of life upgrades that
yeah.
they built towards.
Without him, his troops
How many
would
generals
lose
they
the
got?
will to fight.
They had like 2 or 3 in this one because they had 2 or 3 armies that came in and
This
attacked.
is a
Right,
clear
holy
victory
crap.
that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
And that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it, really?
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. That was
How were the losses?
bad.
But we have Helsinki now. The Danes
do.
mustn't have much left, right?
They can't have much left.
Yeah, I think after that we might be worthwhile taking a wee break and a wee break as well if you catch me drift, Jim.
Yes, I'll
It's not going to hold as solidly as it did last stream because I think we were more through it by the time my bladder was under siege. But this time,
my lord, my bladder's under siege.
if my bladder remains true and steadfast, it will not. It will not. My bladder has lost the will to fight.
Right,
bodily
yeah,
functions,
we'll
comedy gold.
we'll jump on a 5-minute break and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Strangely enough.
Ah, no, who came up with that?
Yeah. Right, yo. Catch you in a bit.
See you shortly. Caw.
That's probably being caught.
That bird, good. It's flying all over the. Get out of my way! Bloody hawks all over the shop.
Damn crows.
Go on.
Fleet ready, sire.
Go on. Redo the intro, Jim. Welcome back.
The enemy fleet.
No, I'm just diving straight into it. We're just laying
on.
waste to navies. Everybody's
Excellent.
getting smashed here.
I'll do it. This is the new avant-garde indie bandits stream,
Victory is ours, sire.
where we don't do intros. We just
Yes, my lord.
throw you right in mid-conversation as we're being attacked by
Bird-related conversation.
raptors. Yeah. Class. No, during the break, right? There was the lasses watching Strictly Come Dancing, right? And during the ad break, she's not watching Strictly. Strictly, she's watching the French version of it, right? But so French ads have like ads everywhere in the world. They have like stuff like what's going to be on TV and, you know, this weekend's movie and stuff like this, right? So the movie is 50 Shades of Grey.
All right.
And it's got the rating on it, and she's like 12. I thought it was quite shocking. And I'm like, only in France is 50 Shades like a 12. Like everywhere else, it's rated a lot higher. I think I don't know how the rating systems work exactly in the US, but I think in the UK it was probably like a 15 at least. Haven't seen the film, but
You would think so, based on the nature of the film, unless it's just like super not
it's a
what
lot
it sounds
of,
like.
I don't think you see all the stuff that supposedly happens in the book. It's just alluded to, maybe.
Do you remember when that was like out and everyone was like praising?
Everyone's
know,
like, "Oh my god!"
like
It's like,
she's just
we've had nudie books for donks. Don't worry about it.
But I like how like, you know,
Also-
if a guy does it, it's disgusting. But it's empowering otherwise, right? It's like, well, I don't know. It sounds to me. I mean, I haven't read it, so maybe I'm wrong. But it sounds just like a raunchy novel.
Yeah, and didn't we used to have like those where like it was the muscly guy on the front of a boat in the wind and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
where like those Harlequin romance, is that what they're called? Is that the genre?
I have no idea.
Right, but what I do know about the rating classification of this is it got the 12 rating in France, and they were arguing that it should have been the equivalent of Universal, or if it was ESRB, E for everyone. They were like, nah, it's fine. French were like, nah, it's fine, don't worry about it. They're just like, it's just people having sex, it's fine. I've got the deets here. The US gave it a 17.
We must defend the gates.
UK gave it an 18. A lot of places gave it an 18. Lebanon 21. And
Shit, they're coming.
in France argued that it shouldn't have had any rating and that it was ridiculous giving it a 12 plus. They're like, kids should watch it. Teach them about.
These kids
whips
need
and
to
shit.
know.
I just love the idea that meeting would have been like the most stereotypically French thing you've ever seen. That like sat there going, it's not like anyone is violent. It's just the whips. The whips are for fun. They are fun whips. Yeah. It's a movie for the whole family. Forget Mulan on Disney Plus. Get the kids round and watch 50 Shades.
50 Shades?
Why not?
Why the hell not?
Cultural differences. It's fun. It's enlightening, isn't it? Seeing how other peoples around the world deal with other things. Like, it also sometimes gives you perspective. Like, it's almost like, yeah, does it really fucking matter? Like, remember being a Ben, like watching South Park, you know, and so my mum thought it was just a cartoon. I mean, it is a cartoon, but you know what I mean. She thought, because cartoons aren't normally that racy or offensive or adult in their subject matter, watching South Park was fine, because she didn't actually know what the content of it was, but aesthetically it looked like something that would be appropriate for me to watch.
Yeah.
And that meant when we used to get the VHS tapes of the shows, which we used to send me nan to go get, because obviously she, she was retired, and that was a case of, can you just pop down to the shops and pick up this? We'll give you the name of it, and you go buy it. And that's what she would do. She'd go down to, like, when it used to exist, Virgin Megastore or HMV or all these kind of, like, media shops, and she'd pick up VHSs of South Park for us. When I was like, we were still in primary school when it first came out, and obviously she was in, like, what, 60s, 70s, so she wasn't going to get ID'd for buying these VHSs.
They were like, man,
So
this lady loves she, not what you'd call the typical audience.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea that she was probably in that shop buying South Park and, like, Last of the Summer Wine together.
She's got a range. She's got a range.
She's like, she likes comedy of all types.
She knows what she
very
likes.
open-minded, this old woman. But yeah, and my mum had no idea until one day we're in the car, and me and my sister are talking about South Park and how cool it is and how much we love it, and how Kenny's the best character because he knows what a dildo is. And my was like, wait, what? What the fuck is that about? Like, what is this show? Like, South Park, have we watched it for ages? Nan buys us the videos. She's like, what? I need to know what this is all. You know what this is about. The show, not the dildos, obviously.
And it began a lifelong love affair between Joe's mum and
excellent. South Park. That's South Park.
At South Park, of course. Yeah.
Oh, obviously South Park.
Obviously South Park. Yeah.
She likes Kennedy because
Kennedy. Who's Kennedy?
Kennedy. JFK. Famously assassinated American president. And the comedy stylings of South Park.
I guess it's a pile out front sort of a day.
Rough. But it's funny watching all these different countries around the world dealing with things, and like in one country something's like a full-on like chaotic mess and it's a whole controversy and all that kind of crack on, and elsewhere they're like, what they crying about? I feel a lot of that happens across the Atlantic as well. Big oceans leave big cultural gaps, don't they? Even though between like us and the pond, there's probably like stuff America watches like the UK up in arms over, and are like
they're a little bit more conservative though, aren't they? Is conservative the right word? No.
Yes, traditionalist. Yeah, it's conservatism. The idea of like stuff is good, so don't change it. I think that's my like mnemonic device for remembering it. Like conserve things the way they are. That's not it's a broad stroke of defining it, but you know what I mean. It's they are more conservative over there. Keep things how they are. Don't worry about it. It's
Where's the
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. By St. George, the enemy siege tower is utterly destroyed.
Okay. That was just a lucky shot. That was not the goal. But I'll take it. I'll take it, like.
I actually saw some excellent examples of Geordie today. There's a so there was a I was seeing some. Well, you don't need to know what pantomime is, Jim, but for those that don't know, it's a very weird form of interactive theatre that's very popular in the UK and
Yes.
really has to be seen or attended really to fully understand. But I was watching some,
Yeah.
saw some adverts for, like some social media adverts for an upcoming pantomime back in Newcastle, and it's a local production. And it was just the actors introducing the show and saying when it was on and
Only half
who
the
they were
enemy
playing,
force
but they were like doing
remains.
it in part, like in their roles. So they were all dressed up in the traditional panto garb and really hamming up the Geordie. And even I was kind of like, oh, that is like, I understand, but like, that's an accent and a half, isn't it? Like,
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this,
like
we'll
saying
smash
like
the enemy.
pronouncing third as Thord and house as Hoos and like
Thursday.
full on for Thursday. So on Thursday the 3rd of December, I got into me Hoos and that, and I'm like, oh yeah. Like, to me, you almost forget that, like, that's how we talk in it. That's so it's just like it was almost jarring for me for a bit, like being away too long, but I haven't been able to get back to Newcastle as often as I would have liked during the whole pandemic. So it's just like
The battle is very much
even
in
the
our favor.
accent
If we remain
full
true
on.
and steadfast, victory will be ours.
I was like, oh yeah, I forgot people could talk like that
By
and
St.
do
George,
and often
we
do in
can
everyday
hold
life,
how
but
our
they don't
cowardly foe
make it to
rallies. It's time to press the attack.
mainstream media and stuff like that, because people don't understand us, and
What are you trying to say?
most people think we sound thick. So
You sound
what was her
delightful.
face from the
All of Christendom will
from
be
the Borough on
awed
the
by the
BBC,
victory
who
we have
people
won
told her to
here
get off because she
today.
didn't know what she was talking about, even though she's got like a master's degree in the subject she's talking about and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Is it Steph McGovern or something like that?
maybe she does the finance on the Beeb.
Oh, I can't remember. I just remember there's a sort of northern.
Because she was from the north. People are like, get her off the telly.
Victory.
She knows bugger all. It's like, that's not true. That's just you applying your preconceptions of people based on the way they talk. Like, her accent is as legitimate as any other accent. The idea that certain accents and dialects have more value than others is just utter nonsense.
It's a hangover from back in the day of
Ships ready.
to get on the TV. You used to have to have a certain type of accent.
The
or to-
received pronunciation.
yeah,
Back on
to even be an actor or anything, you had to speak a certain way. So
with Neil and I. We're famous actors, and we will buy this establishment or whatever.
yeah, we are
Install a
multi-millionaires.
That's it. Install a jukebox over there. And listen, you stiffs it up a bit.
That's such a good film.
It's insane. It's also very, very British. I feel this is like in its humor and sensibilities. I don't know how well it would travel anywhere. I've tried. I've tried watching it with foreigners, as if like I've just approached random foreign people. Like, yeah, watch this 1987 comedy with Richard E. Grant in it.
Actually, talking about Disney Plus and Richard E. Grant, there's a show on Disney Plus called Loki.
Yeah, with the god from
Yeah.
Marvel.
And
Loki,
Richard
right?
E. Grant's in it, and when he turns up, I think he's in like 1 and a bit episodes, and he
Right.
absolutely steals it. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like, he's in it, he'll be good, but like his little bit in it was actually fantastic. That was a really good show, actually. I very much enjoyed that. I tried watching WandaVision, and that's 3 episodes too long, that series. It gets good after episode 3. But Loki was really
Slow
good, I
build-up.
thought. Very, very, very slow build-up. Like, painfully slow build up to the point where I was
Loki or WandaVision.
WandaVision. I was actually done with it, but then Spear was like, "No, just get past episode 3." I'm like, ugh.
I do hate that like kind of thing where it's like it gets good after this, and it's like, but it shouldn't. It should just be good at the start, or just don't start then. Like, I understand the build up and payoff kind of crack on. Like, I think there are certain like shows and things where in order to have the big payoff at the end, you need the build up, you need to create the stakes and the tension and all this kind of crack on. Other times they're just not getting to the point.
Should I do it?
Yeah, like I always do this with like Breaking Bad did it, where I feel like every season was like it slowed down the pace but increased the ante.
Yeah.
So in the first season, it was the build up and payoff were always in the same episode. Like every episode had a build up and a payoff in it. Then by season 2, it was kind of like, oh well, you'd have one episode where it built up to it, and then the resolution was in the subsequent episode. And then by like season 3, you had these kind of arcs that were a couple episodes, 2 or 3, 4 episodes long, where 2 episodes were building up, and then you have 2 like high stakes episodes, but you needed the 2 episodes to build into it to give it the value. And like Stranger Things did a similar crack on where they were like, oh well, the ante's so much higher that we actually, to have all the stakes in place, to have this house of cards that's going to fall, it will take 2 or 3 episodes, and that's fine if the payoff is worth the stakes. But in some cases,
yeah, I don't mind something having a slow pace to it or something, or like building up or whatever. But literally, this series could do without entirely
those episodes.
the first 3 episodes. Just get
exactly, and
the story they tell in the first 3 episodes could be told in the first 15 minutes of episode 4 easily. So just do that.
Yeah, it's I think it can be afforded to a TV show once they've earned your trust. Like those 2 examples I gave with Breaking Bad and like Stranger Things. Those were 2 shows that I felt in the first seasons they were just like build it up, knock them down, build them up, knock them down, kind of fast pace. And then season 2, you're like, well, I know this show is good, so I'm going to trust it to take a few episodes to get it to build up to something. And it does. But the idea that a show can just rely on other people telling you that it's going to build up to something when it hasn't like earned my trust yet by having a good season, it's like, no, come on. Like, just be good right from the start, and then in season 2 you can take longer once everyone knows that you're a good show. You can't do it in the first 3 episodes of your show ever. Even
if you're a good show, content for the sake of it, episodes for the sake of it is never a good thing. It should always be like, is this episode actually telling a story that needs to be told, or are we kind of just waffling? Are we doing the thing that plagues nearly all of Japanese anime, which is the massive filler episodes?
Waiting for the manga to catch up, which is it's so funny in a weird way where you're like, how can they produce the animation quicker than they can produce the stills? I mean, we know how. We've seen how some of these shows are animated. Like, there are tricks of the trade, and then there are how anime cuts corners for animation. It's like, whoa. How many times do you have to watch Goku get punched through about 3 mountains on that same plateau? You know that? you know the one? It's like the opening level on every Dragon Ball Z game where you fight the Cybermen. That yellow rocks, green plateaus bit of that the world. Like
that nondescript, nowhere near civilization, so it's fine. We can wreck everything. Part of the world.
We can wreck everything, and he's gonna get punched through 3 mountains in a single go. And as he does, what we're gonna do is have the one static shot of him falling backwards whilst the entire background rotates to indicate he was spinning. Rather than animating him spin, like the rushing towards the enemy swooshy background trick as well, where it's just a still shot of them going with that like fist ready to punch, and it's just swooshy background behind them to make it look like that accelerating towards their opponent. yeah, it's what was I'll tell you which show, speaking of anime, that did it. Remember Death Note? Remember how there was just like, I don't know, what were like 2 seasons in the middle of it where you're just like, seriously, what is happening here? What is going on? Why is this show like ground to a halt? Because I remember it opened really strongly, and the first few episodes were really good, and the last few episodes were really good, and then there were like a whole stint of like, I'm pulling the number out my arse here, but like 20 episodes where you're like, the fuck? What happened here? We had like 10, I don't know how many episodes there are, but you know what I mean? Like if the show was 40 episodes, there were like 10 at the start that were really, really good, and 10 at the end that were really, really good, and then this weird 20 episodes where you're like, what is happening? Why is this just like, why are there episodes where like this wasn't Death Note, but where Piccolo goes to get his driving license, shit like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's filler, really, and then there's the filler in Japanese anime. Like, it's crazy how just much they just
they're just like,
we're stopping the episode
so
now.
and so's birthday.
Yeah.
It's the birthday episode, and someone forgot to get a card. These people can save the universe and like breathe in space for 20 minutes whilst they build up energy and shit like that, but oh fuck, they forgot the birthday card and they're gonna have to go back to the shops for it. Even though we've got 10 minutes of recap at the start, 10 minutes of what's gonna happen next time at the end, and there's actually only like Dragon Ball Z episodes, I think, are like 10 minutes long if you actually just watch the bits that are the new content for the episode.
Oh yeah, won't last long at all.
I remember back in the day,
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and
when my
steadfast,
ex wasn't my ex at the time, but we went through Dragon Ball Z. Because I was like, you've sort of like just watch it, right? Like, it's dumb, and it is like, in a lot of ways it's excellent, but in a lot of ways it's also like the McDonald's of this art form. Like, it's McDonald's if you were trying to get into burgers and you'd never eaten a burger in your life. You're like, oh, I could get into this. Like, it's the gateway drug to anime. Like, you know, if you're in the West, the idea of Dragon Ball Z will like get you into anime. The whole like shonen arc kind of crack on. But I was like, watch this, and I was like, because I wasn't watching on the TV and just had all the episodes like torrented or whatever, I was like, oh, I can skip the recaps and I can skip the like, will Goku beat Frieza, or will he spend another 8 episodes, spoiler alert, he will, building up his spirit bomb. Like,
oh, he's definitely going to spend about 20 episodes building up that spirit bomb.
And then you just skip it, and I'm like, oh shit, like every episode's like with ad breaks. Once you take the ad breaks out, it's like not even 10 minutes, it might be like 8 minutes long every episode. Like, Dragon Ball Z with those bits cut off the end would make a great YouTube series. But yeah, it's certainly like that is, but that's more down, I assume that's more down to the economics of the episodes and the production rather than, you know, the like how anyone wanted these shows to be written and produced.
Yeah.
A lot with it happens a lot with American TV shows as well, because of how like strict their like television scheduling historically has been. Whereas now it's like with streaming services, you can kind of like break that mold more. But obviously, watch every TV show from like 1980 to like 2015, and you know it's 22, 24 episodes a season that are all 22 minutes long. Oh, he's down. But yeah, and then they had to just like, that's just how you had to do it, because a TV series would be like, well, we need a show for Thursday night at 9 o'clock from then till then, and it needs a Thanksgiving episode, and it needs a Christmas episode, and it needs a Valentine's episode, and it needs an Easter episode, and then give us 18 other episodes around that, and yeah, come back to us with all of those, and you've got yourself a show. and you can't break that mold because scheduling and like viewer numbers require it. Every media goes through this, like, I guess, kind of cycle. There'll be like an optimum length for certain books. Obviously some will break that, but like when you're writing a book, it's like needs to be X number of pages. YouTube videos need to be X number or whatever. It's like comment and subscribe, ring that bell kind of crack on, because that's what works.
Smash that like button.
Smash it. Just smash it. Just smash my bell until you get all the notifications. I know what I said.
Why did YouTube do that? That was a baffling move. It just annoyed me as an audience having to. No, just like you subscribe to a channel, but if you want to be notified when that channel has new content, you have to click the notification bell. But my subscription to that channel should show that I'm interested in the content of that channel. Like, because now I not only have to smash that like button, it's like, oh, make sure to subscribe and then click the notification bell. It's like, oh my god, I don't think I have the notification bell clicked for one single channel I'm subscribed to.
Me neither. I just have to go through the subscription, but then sometimes I find I miss something because YouTube doesn't show you it. But I'm like, I can't bring. It's like everything I've subscribed to, I want notifications for. That's why I'm subscribed to them. I don't subscribe to anything I don't want to like hear about. Like. That's why I subscribe. Is sort of meant to be the point, isn't it? Like,
yeah, I have subscribed. That should be an indicator to YouTube that I want that content.
I know, and then they've just sort of like nerfed it, haven't they? They've nerfed the subscribe button, and the bell is OP. So in the next patch, it's gonna be a different thing in it. But yeah, and then you can't fight the algorithm, and everything has to be 10 minutes long at the end of it. It has to have like an advert for a VPN or something. Like, that's how it works. And all media and all art forms like eventually like become this like perfectly buffed sphere with all the edges rounded off, don't they? And then people get bored of it, and you need something to go break the mold again, which will eventually get honed down into the most optimum version of it. And the cycle continues, and then obviously people get like a bit bored of YouTube, and then TikTok's the place, and then it's like, you can't keep up, can you? It's like,
nah. I'll give TikTok a bit of credit though. I honestly thought that one would have disappeared faster than it has. I thought they were like a flash in the pan, so fair enough. They're still around.
I don't understand it.
I've never ever looked at it. Like, I don't have the app or anything, but like, because I just can't be bothered with another. Like, I just generally, Twitter's enough for me.
Time sync. Man, yeah, and like, I've listened to podcasts where people call it the bad website, and I'd go with that. I mean, I think all social media is has its horrible dark corners, and I don't think anyone can really like defend any of these platforms as like perfect, though some people will try. Like, I think you might have seen when like Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram went down. Oh, Twitter was sat blowing its own trumpet.
Oh yeah, that was quite. I don't mind that. That was just good banter. That though. That was.
When it was not Twitter itself. I mean the community of users on Twitter. Like,
oh, did you see Twitter though? That was quite funny.
Twitter itself, where it's exactly like, the social media platform itself can be can poke fun at the other ones, especially when like Facebook and Instagram's official accounts on Twitter are notifying its users about the downtime through Twitter. That's very funny. But when like Twitter users themselves are trying to take some kind of moral high ground, going, look, our platform's not down, how great are we? It's like, look, this is not like, why do you care? It's like, they're all fine. Like, you understand they're all multi-billion-dollar corporations at the end of the day. Like, the idea that one cares about you more than the other is really negligible. It's just how well one can act like it cares about you. Just use it, how it works for you, but also this doesn't mean that, like, everyone's like, haha, Facebook's dead. We knew Facebook was dead because we're the cool kids and we're on Twitter. And then and then also at the same time, people were like, look at all these people coming over from Facebook. well, then that shows there's a lot of people still on it, doesn't it? Like, yeah.
I don't
Like,
think you
why
can
does
classify
everyone need
any
to be on a
platform that
side?
has like hundreds of millions of people using it as dead. But I mean, it's dead to me. I don't use it, but
Honorable, glorious.
it's still
victory.
obviously
apparently-
very
apparently-
heavily used.
Oh, well, apparently, just as we speak, Instagram's down.
The enemy
Well,
Well, at
Ah.
least that's what's trending on Twitter.
We
But one of the
must
first
prevail.
tweets is someone with a meme saying, of like Twitter saying, "Twitter never disappoints me." You're like, oh, good for you. People come and then like memes of people coming to Twitter again to check whether Insta is down again, and it's like, yeah, right, like.
Yeah. Strange that people care so much, I guess, but whatever.
Like, well, why do you need to pick a tribe? Like, why do people need to like pick
Hail my
teams?
orders. Come and
Like-
face the might of the Reich, coward.
I'm personally not a huge Facebook user either.
Orders.
Used to, then sort of it didn't work for me, so I stopped using it. But if it works for people and that's what they want to use it for, then that's grand. Use Facebook. If Facebook works for you, I just don't like
Our people rule
constantly
these
having
waters.
comments shoved down my throat by people I don't know or care about.
Preparing to board and
Like-
engage the enemy.
There's plenty of corners of the internet where you can get random opinions from so-called experts in economics, virology, and politics. It just seems like a big, loud version of the pub at chucking out time to me, where everyone's got like an opinion on politics and they're all shouting it, and I'm like, yeah. Like, not to say that doesn't happen on Twitter, but Twitter doesn't seem to show me as much of it, whereas Facebook, the way it's presented, has that, like, you know, has the comments on the bottom. It always shows you the first few, so even just scrolling past them, you're always going to hear or read some of them. So yeah, it doesn't particularly work for me, but if it does, you know, people use it like keep in touch with their families and shit, or like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
post
That's good
pictures
for
of the
that.
holiday for, like, you know, I don't, like, you know, I see groups that like my mum's in with like family members who are in Australia and stuff, and like, you know, a Facebook group there where they're sending each other messages, and she uses it to like for like Facebook groups about like TV shows she likes and stuff like that, and finds it like great. And yeah, me personally found it quite a depressing place to be. But I find a lot of social media places quite depressing places to hang out. I don't hang out that much on them.
Yeah, no, it's mainly for work for me. If it wasn't for work, I wouldn't be on any of them.
Work, I mean, obviously in a well, like, pseudo professional capacity, obviously with the indie bandit stuff, I found like communities, like, which is really good. Like, that kind of stuff is great, but I wouldn't be on Twitter for anything other than that. And you know, when I'm manning the indie bandits Twitter, you know, maybe a bit of a one-track mind, or sort of very narrow in my focus, but I am just there for the indie games. And like, I'd like to follow a lot of people, but if, you know, if people have kind of split focus, then they're not going to be followed by me. You know, like, if you're an indie dev that is like 50% game dev and 50% politics, even if I agree with all your politics, you might not be getting followed, because it's like, I'm here for the indie games. Sorry, I'm not here for the politics. I can get political hot takes all over the shop and shit like that. Sorry, just show us the cool games. That's what I'm here for, and I'll just curate that as much as I can. Yeah.
I was
Do
going to
follow
say.
us on Do follow us on Twitter. But if you get vaguely political, I'm not following you back. Also, we don't do follow back. Sorry.
No. I was going to say I'm going to
long
probably
way to grow.
end it there, Joe, because there's a big battle coming up, and
Yeah, it's gonna get.
it's going to take too long.
We've got a lot of. How did we only get one place this time as
We
well?
got
What
one
was
place and defended 3.
that? Check the stat because I want to work out what our winning ratio is.
Oh, you cannot,
You know,
because
the
I'm
win-
about to be attacked, so I can't come off this screen.
All right. I don't think we got enough though, did we?
We didn't, but we've defended. I can show you at the side. We defended these 3 settlements, and
I can see on the mini map we didn't lose anything and we
No.
gained 1, but I
Yeah.
think we needed to.
but we've defended against some. Is it 3 very? And there's a 4th one coming. 4 very large armies. So hopefully now they'll be weakened and we can strike. I feel like everyone in Europe has just been attacking us and nobody else. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that
we'll
sounds
leave
about
this
right.
one for next time.
Yeah.
France attacking us again, and we'll try and complete this game.
It's a long shot at the minute though.
It is. We're gonna have to speed right up.
I think we're gonna have to really move on to the offensive. I know we've got. We got 250 turns right to do it, so we've got like.
70 turns left.
Is it 250 turns?
I don't know,
think
actually.
I think it's about that. We've got but we've got to capture like. There are like 40 regions or something, isn't there? 45.
We've got
We're not even,
15
like-
now, I think, and we've got to get 40, including Jerusalem.
Yeah. Yes. So. The right man like 7. We had to capture a region like every 2 turns, so every other turn has to be conquest.
Yeah. It's going to be
And
very hard to do.
I mean, we just have to get. I guess by turn 200, we're gonna have to be looking at like having multiple fronts, aren't we?
Yeah.
If we can consolidate from sea to sea, from Belgium to southeastern France or northwestern Italy, then surely we can just start expanding on 2 fronts. I know it didn't go well historically for the
Anybody.
Germans or anyone. Yeah, 2 fronts is never good, but we don't have much of a choice. But to be honest, those 2 fronts will turn into, or we can just go on 1 front west until we've gone as far west as you can.
We can go east from Helsinki and Riga. West from Helsinki and Riga, and east from Metz and
just close it up.
Staufen. Yeah,
That's
because
a good shout. Close it up, and then nothing comes from there, and the Danes are gone.
Denmark
they've
and
been-
the Holy Roman Empire should be fairly weak now after the last 3 turns and relentless attacks.
Well, maybe we'll do it by factions, and we'll look to pick off players. You know, like if you're playing Among Us and trying to kill off people, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if
Give it
we
a go.
if we go to finish off factions, that'll be 1 less faction that'll attack us every so often.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to work out who's the weakest and just pick on them for a bit. Like Danes and Holy Roman Empire, first targets, then they'll be out of the picture. Then we could finish off the French, who've got like 5-bit regions. Then we can move in onto the Spaniards and the Portuguese, and then it would be France, Iberia taken, and then there's nothing coming at us from the west, and nothing coming at us from Scandinavia.
It's the constantly being attacked that slows everything down, because you're constantly having to use the men you've got to just defend, and you can't leave because you keep getting attacked. So it's like, right, we have to
pick someone and just finish them off, because that's 1 less army that'll attack us each turn.
Yeah, so I think the best idea would be to just defend against France and attack Denmark. I think that's what we should do. And Holy Roman Empire can be defended. We'll go pick off the Danes.
We'll finish off the Danes next time out.
'Cause they'll be
and,
weak now.
Yeah, and if we can just really like focus on smashing the Danes, then we can smash the Holy Roman Empire after that, and then maybe the French, then maybe the Spanish, then maybe the Portuguese.
Because there's a lot of regions around here, so they start to rack up very quickly.
Yeah.
And then there's
Sounds
more money,
good.
you spend more on troops and things. So yeah, okay. Yeah, so I guess I'll be back next
Men
week
with
with.
a plan.
We'll be back with the World Domination next week. Are there any other streams in the meantime?
Not planned for this Sunday. Following Sunday will be another Indie Bandits demo disc live stream, and that'll be another showcase of 5 indie games and their demos. Though in the meantime, we've still got competitions ongoing, so check out obviously all our social media channels for your chance to win a bunch of indie games. For an even better chance at winning a bunch of indie games, we actually have a pretty large prize pool going, which will be given out not all at once. That would be insane, but we've got a pretty decent prize pool growing for Patreon subscribers. I think we have about 90 games in that pile right now.
Nice.
That we are just waiting for patrons to come on board, and we can start giving them out. We can't give them out in a random sweepstakes. That would be against Patreon's terms of services, but you can still win stuff as long as it's not a raffle. So we will be running some pretty cool competitions. You will have to do something for them. You can't just put your name into a hat, but yeah, as we get more patrons, there'll be prizes to be won, and all the other cool stuff we do for patrons, which includes shout outs, promotions, general recognition for all the cool work that indie devs do. And as our Patreon grows, more stuff will get added to that list because we'll have more leverage, and it'll be pretty cool, the kind of stuff we'll be able to do for people. So highly recommend checking that out if you either want to win some indie games, or you're making an indie game, or both. If indie devs like indie games, so there's no reason they can't help get the word out for their game, whilst also winning some cool indie games.
Exactly.
It's win 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 win. All the wins.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and I guess we'll catch you on the next stream in probably about a week's time.
Yep, sounds good. I look forward to seeing you there.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Catch you later.
Catch you later. Goodbye, Hawk. Caw-caw.